Good evening, everyone. It's Mr. Bravo again. In our last episode, we managed to wrangle our way through this, and it was not a very good episode. We did get there in the end, but um, it was a struggle. So we're happy with that piece there. And we were on this drawing here. So let's flip it over to page 7 and see where we're going now. Oh, that's interesting. We were just talking about. See, I don't really look forward either. We were just talking about this piece on the very last episode, and I thought it was the guard. Well, technically it is the guard because there is a guard there for this piece. So that also has to come off for that piece as well, whereas I thought it was finished. It's not quite finished. So let's get on and do a little bit more to that. Okay, so we need C15. Let's get C15 out. Yeah, there's C15. And again, it surprised me because that last piece we just did, let's zoom in a little more. Again, it's a very nice piece to quickly look at. I mean, that little piece of flooring there, it's very nice. Yeah, so let's get this on. Quickly do that online. Just cut those pieces off. And let's get him cleaned up. Just while we're at it, let's do a quick mic check. Yeah, the mic looks like it's working. That's all working. No glitches. Yeah, a lot better than the last episode. So let's clean this up. Okay, I've probably spent, I don't know, a good 5 minutes offline, seriously cleaning this one up. It didn't look difficult. It's just the way that was the markings on here. It was a little difficult to do because I wanted to kind of keep that line, but clean it up, and there was pieces on the side here. I'm like, man, it's not easy to clean up. It's not easy to clean up, I should say. So yeah, that's that now done. Now, where are we? We got to go that way, and there is already some PE got to go on this, but I'm not sure I'm going to put that on yet because of the painting. But just for now, let's get this one off. So does that go over the top? Oh yes, it does. Look, see that? It kind of finishes that piece off. I was really wondering before about, about the hole in the top here in the last episode. I'm like, okay, and I'm building this in real time just with you guys, which is I'm not looking forward and preempting what's happening. I'm building this as I'm building it and working it out with you guys, just the way we go. Is there a lug on the back of that? There isn't. So do you just... That one's on. And this one just kind of sits on. And then... Oh, look at that. There is something in the back there, though. What's going on here? Let's have a look. See how it's just a little bit swinging in the wind? As an expression. Yeah, just... What kind of keeps you steady? Like at the back here? Nothing. And I kind of really wanted something to sort of say, well, no, we're steady for a reason. So it looks like that goes on there just like that, somehow. Just like that. God, a locating lug would have been nice there. It would have. It really would have. But I can see where that's now going. Let's zoom in. Just on about. So there it is there. And of course, because we can take these layers off, it's not going to be that hard to continue on with the black that we were talking about now. It did answer one question, which on the last episode I was wondering why this one would, this is structure. Do we have to do black on top of here? And the answer is no. Of course, we can paint that in the camouflage and put that on top. So that'll be black. Black there, which also makes sense for the actual color picture for what we were doing up here and everything else. So now it'll actually kind of make sense. And again, I don't want to glue that, but I will leave that as one piece. And I'll work out whether I'm going to put the PE on now or later, as opposed to when we do all the colouring. When I say colouring, I mean like the camouflage and the painting and all that. Yeah, that would have been a nicer fit. You just got to muck around that little bit. I mean, of course, when you go to sit it on permanently, you can hold it and muck around with it and do everything you need, but it's going to look good, is what I'm trying to say, once that is all on. So I think we're going to continue on with what we said before, which is, okay, we didn't know that piece was on there, but that is part of that structure, which has to be painted separately. So let's leave that over there just for the moment. And again, let's look at some of this other stuff. We do look like we've got some ladder work here. More PE. There seems to be an awful lot of PE that goes on this piece. And again, what are the colours of the ladders? I do believe they may be light. Let's get the colour picture out for a second. I was just having another good look. So we've got these pieces here, and this one here, which is also leading up to, I can't remember what that piece is called that goes up the front there. There's two side bits. I want to say capstan, but I know capstan's not right because the capstans will be up the front. But I just can't remember it. So, yeah, what are we going to do here with the ladders and other bits of piece if we paint this? We may have to put the ladders on that piece, but glue them to the actual plastic and then take them off. But what I'm looking at right now is this piece here and this one. So on the color picture, we bring that back. There it is back. Let's zoom in a bit. Let's zoom in a little more. So yeah, that's what I was worried about. So there's that square piece we were just talking about, and there's that other piece, and obviously we know what this piece now is. So it's actually making a whole lot more sense. But side on, so there's the picture directly below it, as in what color does that have to be? Now, according to this, that does look like white camouflage there, and I reckon that's white camouflage there as well around the outside of this structure. So because we're trying to paint this easier, I'm going to say let's leave that one definitely off because that's white. And this one here, we can probably paint that with the actual colours and glue that on afterwards. And then basically just leave this floor. I'll bring the floor back in. Let's zoom out a little bit. Bring the floor. We can paint this floor dark and then we can do the white edges and then put the camouflage stuff on here, which would be this piece here and the white pieces that's to go in around this. So again, thinking of the paint, we're still not going to glue that piece down, but we do know how we need to paint this now. So this is going to be all dark, clearly camouflage on the side here. Pretty much looks like all the light blue. Yeah, that's interesting. I want to zoom in just there. Just there. Now, I can't see this properly. I've got to look through my lens, and you too. Because is there a defined extra color? Let's have a look. Okay, let's move. Oh, I've got to move that. I can't move that any other way. Right. Can you see? So what I'm getting at here is, can I zoom in more? There we go. So what I'm now suggesting is there's white, there's the blue, there's the grey, but I actually think there's now another grey here. Obviously this grey and the other grey at the back, which you can't see at the moment. And I only really noticed this from this line here, There's a line, very faint line that goes through here, which made me think, no, this is not the same blue as this. And I really do think that is a different colour. And now I have to be extra careful. Is there any more like this? And it's not a very good picture for you to see. Maybe I can bring it that way. Can you see it better that way? Yes, you can. So there's a definitive line from this colour and this colour here. And obviously there's a darker grey. So I'm now going to say there's 4 colours on this ship, not the 3. And I'm kind of happy about that. I thought it would look a little weird having the light blue up the front there. And we can technically kind of muck around with that shade. It does look like, let's zoom out for a second. Let's fix this ship up. I've got to give you a better look though. So I've got to be close, but not too close. Yeah, that's probably not bad. We can keep the light out of it. So what I was saying before, this grey is the same as this grey. I am now thinking that this grey is probably the same as the boats here, because it's not really the dark. And possibly even that as well. Yeah, because it is a slightly different colour. So yeah, I'm going to say I'm not worried about this here, because I think this is some sort of mistake. Because if that's going down there and it's scooping up, it's got to be the same colour as this. So we're going to keep that the same colour. I'm going to say this is the same as the front colour. We've got the darker grey there, there and there. And is there a darker colour down here? We've clearly got the light colour grey, the light colour, I'm going to say grey, I mean blue, I suppose, there. And can we use a bit of this stuff as a bit of contrast to some of those other bits and pieces? That's interesting. Can we get a better idea on the top picture? Okay, I'm trying to roll the paper so you don't get the light, but you can see the picture, and hopefully the whole picture. Let me see. So we're now wondering about this dark colour. Is it anywhere else? You know, I do think I spot it on top of the cannons, or is that black from looking down? Let's have a look at the rear of the ship just for a moment. Now that's very, very interesting. So there's those cannons, and I said to you I just spotted a bit of dark colour. Remember, we have camouflage on the side, but we're wondering about looking straight down. This ship looks nice sideways and looking straight down. If I was to put this ship on a shelf, and I would put it so you can actually see those 2 different perspectives. So I wouldn't want this ship up high, I would want it down low. I'm going to say they are the same colour as the floor. The nose is the same colour as the floor up here. When I say nose, I mean the front up there is there. So while there is a different colour here, I don't really think I see it anywhere else apart from maybe just here, which you can get away with that for a bit of contrast. And you could probably even do that even here for those couple of pieces as well. There's definitely 4 colours. 1, 2, 3, and 4 is what I'm saying. So by leaving some of these pieces free, and we did do this with the HMS, we did these in structures, but I want to do this in a structure that I can disable like that. There's one piece, there's structure, there's another piece, and I'm quite sure when I take that lacquer band off, that will come off as a nose piece and the floor piece, because like the floor piece I want to be able to paint as well, and make it nice and easy. So let's put that back together just for now for storage. Let's put that away, and that one there goes on top. And I'm not going to know about the PE until I work out should it be on now or later? I do know there's staircases and other bits and pieces, but we can always paint them separately and add them later. So I'm not worried about that. Now, let's go back to this one here. So that's obviously a white piece. I don't want that to go on because I want to paint that with the white stuff. We could probably start to set up a bit of a box for the white stuff if we wanted to. And this piece here, what goes on top of D23? Can we see it any further? Let's have a look. Okay, turned over to page 8. And again, I'm just trying to bring you along. There's the top piece up here, which is a whole bunch of stuff to try and make 3 of these. And all this is to make one mast, virtually, that goes, a tower, I should say, for here and also here. And again, this piece was to be painted dark, I think. And this piece is technically structure, which is to be painted black on top and camo on the side here. So I'm going to get this piece out because I want to have a look at this piece just for 1 minute. So I'm going to go back a fraction. Yeah, so that piece looks like 2 pieces. It's C18 and D23. I do know the C sprue is right here. Let's have a look at that for a second. 18 is here. So it is a 2-part piece. That is a piece of flooring. And let's have a look at the other one, which is D23. So there we have D23, and it is part of the structure which we need camouflage on. I'm just looking at the picture. I know you can't see it, but yes, that is definitely be painted, yeah, dark on top, camo on the side. So let's get that off, and of course cleaned up. Okay, there's our 2 pieces off, and they're all cleaned up. Let me just move this out the way for a second. What have we got here? We've got, so this looks like that goes one way, and then this one goes the other, something like that, to kind of create a floor. Let's zoom in a little. Sorry about that. It's definitely not in line, and it does seem to go underneath. And there is a kind of, there's like a mark under there. Maybe it's going to go underneath there like that. Again, I'm going to say this is flooring, and that should be dark as well. How would I do this? I'd probably paint this the camo color and mask it up, and then just leave the dark piece, which is flooring, and paint the floor on there, and then put that on there. And then when you can put that on the ship like that, glued on, and again, we're going to leave that piece and that piece with that one. They should go in their box, but I do want those 2 pieces together, so when we look at them, we know exactly where they belong. Not mean by belong, just like that. Sorry. So that piece actually goes in there like that there, and this is why I'm saying it has to be camo, because when you see that side on, that's what you're going to see. And then this piece, which I just dropped, kind of goes on there. It's a floor of some sort. So it kind of goes on like that, and then goes on underneath that with the structure to kind of give you that lip. And of course, to paint black under here, you don't want this on. And this has to be black anyway. So yes, we're better off to leave that off, most definitely. Obviously, there's some guns and bits and pieces got to go in here. We're not worried about those right now. We're just worried about the structure itself. So again, I think this is the right way to go, which is leave them off, ready for painting. You can take them off, of course. So that's now your way to paint all of this black. There is some blue on this. This section here is blue. So of course we do all the black, we just cover that up, or you do the blue, cover that up, which is not much, and paint the rest of black. And I'm going to try and get some sort of roller, tiny little roller, to roll these edges to the white. I really like that white, and I'm going to somehow do it. So yeah, we'll leave these in these pieces, and again, I'm still going to call it this piece done for now, even though we're a long way off finishing, but that's where we're at for that. So, okay. Going to leave the mask for now. Let's move on to the next structure, because I do like to work with structures. So when we paint them, we've got structures, and then we can worry about all the small stuff. So let's get the center deck out, they're calling it. Let's get that out. So there is the center deck. Let's get that one out of the bag as well, and have a bit of a look at how we're going to tackle this one. Get that out. There's our floor. Pretty big floor. When you consider the structures together, there's one, there's another one, and this would be the rear section. Looks like there's only really kind of, well, actually no, it looks like three structures. So this is probably one, this is two. Okay, you've just heard it, the volume's cut out. I don't know exactly what happened there. I am trying out a new shirt mic. It wasn't fully charged before I used it, and it looks like it has gone flat. So here we are talking about the floor, and if I remember correctly, I did do this a little while ago. What are we talking about here? So this looks like the underside, and then I flipped it over to have a look at the other side, because I wasn't sure whether to put them on or not. And I was just looking at them wondering whether I should put them on or not put them on. And if I remember correctly, it turned out it was a good idea to put them on, because technically that is an underside structure which is not really got paint underneath. So that is the camo side. Now, if we roll forward from here, I think we're rolling forward a bit more. Yes, we can see that there's another side to this, which is actually the upside. So the one we just seen is the underside, which is why we can put that on and paint that in the camo colors. There, I'm just looking at those pieces, wondering, are they two pieces or one piece? The sprue was just in front of me, and I could actually see that they are, in actual fact, one piece. And here I'm looking at the structures that are to go on top of this piece. Again, we don't really want them sort of glued down. Yeah, so there's the underside. And if you look now, we'll flip it over and we'll face it the right way. And there's the other side, which I wasn't aware of at first. So then I'm like, okay, so that side there that we're looking at right now, that needs to be painted. So we don't want to paint the painted side, but this is the other side. So we can put the structure on, and obviously it gets turned over like that. And then if we move that over, you'll see the structure that goes on top. We'll move it the right way. And again, we can make them and kind of put them on and sort of on and off before we do the painting. The whole point of all this, again, is all about the painting and how to make it easier. And easier to do the structure, not so easy to do the camo on the ship itself. Obviously, it's all about, we do the camo on the ship, and then that comes up in the structure and sort of tells us how to do it. You've seen this once before. What have we got here? We've got probably another 2 more minutes to go. I think I'm just talking about the structure there, how it all sort of comes together in a few different parts. Just there's another floor that goes on there, which I wasn't aware of, which is obviously dark again. So yeah, just there's plenty of parts and plenty of levels to this ship. I think I rolled forward and I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a new structure just there. We don't want to start that one. Do I go back? And I am sorry for the last two. I've had to come in and do like a voiceover on this episode and the last episode, and I don't know why. So we've gone back to the original structure, which I have worked out. Yes, we can put that on, because that's going to be the blue color or the camo color of the ship, and then when we flip it over, it's not going to really matter, which is why I'm sort of showing the both sides there. So I think we were leaving it at this episode. unfortunately, we hadn't done very much of a build, but this is where we are in this episode. But we have a good general direction on where we're going to go. And this is what I think I'm explaining right now. And of course, now on the next episode, we can start to put that on and continue on with the build. I can tell you, I find this voiceover stuff way harder than doing the actual videos. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode as long as the rest of it. It is slowly coming together. And hopefully we'll see you on the next one. And hopefully there's not as many mistakes as there has been in the last 2 episodes. Now, the last 2 episodes were filmed today, like one yesterday, like this morning and this afternoon. And it has taken way more time than I wanted to even fix these back up. But unfortunately, that's the way that the video is. And some of these things you can't really undo, although that I probably could have undone. But anyway, it's good to know how to do these things just in case it happens again. Anyway, that's it, and I'll see you later and catch you next time. Bye for now.